Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Lit in English. It has been a while since we last doing this, so thank you for joining me. So I have been busy in the past couple of months getting a few projects together, but I finally got it done, and there are many more to work on. But you know what? I miss sharing this amazing knowledge. And this morning I woke up and I was like, today is the day. So that's why we are here. And I would like to thank you for joining me on this journey. And today we are sharing about the seven most important gifts in life. And as many of you might have already know, the knowledge that we share here is from a community that I am a part of, and these amazing knowledge have literally changed my life, and I made it my mission to share this to every corner of the world. So the seven most important gifts in life is something that we all might have heard of, but to be very honest, I didn't look into it deeply when I was younger. And thanks to my teacher, my mentor, and all of my friends, I think I'm now having a good understanding of it, and I am here today to share this amazing gifts to you. So just a quick introduction on what we are going to do in the next couple of weeks. So every Wednesday, except for next week, because I have the second anniversary for with US. Therefore, we will not have a Zoom call. But the week after that, I have made a commitment to share lit in English every Wednesday, US time at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or California time, which is the equivalent of noon, 12 p.m. Vietnamese time. So if you have time, feel free to join me, and let's get right to it. You know, so the seven most important gifts in life is a very big topic. So today I would like to introduce you to the basic, but at the same time very important to understand and build the foundation upon. So this is the part where I would like to invite you to to draw along the way if you could. All right. So okay, first thing first, why do we have the seven most important gifts in life? So the story goes where a farmer, he has struggled all his life, and he has working very hard to do well for himself. However, he couldn't he couldn't get wealthier. He uh he couldn't make any improvement. Therefore, one day he seek the advice of a master, and the farmer kind of complaining and asking the question of, you know what, I am working very hard. I'm a very good person. I never steal. I help others. I take care of my family. Why is it that I am poor my entire life? Why is it that other people seem to have it easier than I do? And the master uh, answer, he said that he said to the farmer, you know what? You work very hard. However, you you don't know how to give. You don't know how to um, give to other, because the law of the universe is that in order to receive, you have to give. And the the farmer is very personal because he said that I'm very poor. I don't have much to give. I can barely make enough to provide to my family. If I were to give anyone any money or any food, any of the little food that I have, my family would go hungry. And the master smiled at the farmer kindly and tell him, there are more than just money in this world. You have a lot. You just don't know it yet. There are many, many things that people can give in order to receive back. It can be very, very rewarding. And that is where the lesson begins. So let's go ahead and write down the title for today's presentation. That is the seven most important gift in life. All right. So the master taught the farmer that the first gift that you can give to other is number one, the gift of smile. Okay. So for the word gift here, that's mean you give someone a present, but you can also use the word give interchangeably. That's mean you give someone something, and the law of the universe say that when you give, you receive. So the old master told the farmer that, you have a beautiful smile. When you smile, other people can see it, other people can feel it. And as the master said that to the farmer, the master gave the farmer a very, very sincere, very genuine smile. And that lifted the farmer's spirit. And he realized at that point, he realized right away that such a simple smile can lift his spirit up. And he looked back to his life, to his daily life, and he noticed how people around him doesn't seem to smile as much. He didn't know that deep down he was seeking for that smile, because when someone smiles at you, it is a universal language, and that can make a huge difference. And to share with you a very personal story, not too personal, but it is my story. So there was a morning back when I had to operate my small business, and my store opened quite early. We had to have it open at 6 o'clock, and I have to wake up at 5 in order to get ready and open my store. However, the alarm didn't goes off, and I didn't wake up until 5:30. So I start off my day not very good. Okay. So I was quite upset, and I didn't take the shower that I usually did. I just brush my teeth quickly, change, and then go to work. And when I got to the store, I realized that the staff from the night before, they didn't prep everything that I need to open to serve my customer. So one thing add on to the next, I was very upset. I was very stressed out, and I did my best to have the store open. It was 30 minutes late, and I had like a couple of customer waiting in the door already. And the second that I opened the door and I apologized to the customer, and they came in, they order their morning routine, and the lady customer was just smiling at me and asked me how my day was, a very sincere, genuine smile. And I told her my story because I was stressed out, but she was very relatable to my story, and she told me of how she had her own business, and she run into similar situation all the time. And before she left, she smiled, and she wished me a wonderful day. And right after that, I feel great right away. I feel very happy. I feel like my energy was lifted, and I was super pumped to continue to work for the rest of my day. So the reason that I'm telling you this story is that just one simple smile that other give to you, it can lift your spirit, and it can change your mood. And smile is a universal language. Imagine if you go to a country where you don't speak the language, let's say Mexico for example. If you went there and you don't speak the language, but just a simple smile can can ensure you that people there are welcoming you. So a smile is something that everybody have, but not everybody give, even though it is the greatest gift of all. Okay. And there is a deeper meaning behind the idea of give and receive. Therefore, I'm going to use another piece of paper to demonstrate that. So today, mainly, we will focus on the gift of smile, and the foundation of why do we need to give? Why do we need to give other? So it's been a while, but let me try to draw a painting. So imagine that we have a river. So this is water. Okay. This water from up here is pouring down. It's pouring down to this bowl shape here, and it's formed a lake. Now, what happened if the water cannot escape? Well, if the lake is really big, okay, I mean, the simple question you would think is that if the water cannot escape, it will overflow and it will drip over. But imagine that we have a really, really big lake and the sun is so hot that the water evaporated. So the amount of water evaporating is much faster than the water coming in. So in the US, we actually have a city called Salt Lake City. And I didn't know this until I got there. And I went to visit the Salt Lake because it is a very, very big lake. And to my surprise, when I got near the lake, it smelled terrible. It's probably the worst smell that I ever smell in my life. And if you can imagine, imagine like a spoiled egg, that's exactly how the lake was smelled like. And my friend told me that the reason that they call it the Salt Lake City because of that very Salt Lake. What happened with Salt Lake is that the amount of water pouring into that lake is less than the water evaporating out of that lake. So over time, all of this water bring in salt, bring in protein, and it's got trapped here. It doesn't flow. It got trapped in the lake, and over time, the salt content of the lake become saltier and more salty over time to the point where nothing can live on that lake. And then animal like bird and stuff, they might make a mistake and they die at the lake and stuff. And over time, all the fish, all the living thing keep pouring to the lake, and the lake keep getting saltier and saltier, and nothing, not even a living thing, can live in that condition. And that's part of the reason that the lake was smelling so bad. So when I learned that, I realized the importance of having the flow. Okay. So if let's say there's a flow of water flowing out, just like how most mountain, it will follow a slope and the water eventually flow to the ocean. So if you can see any body of water that have a very nice flow, you will see that fish that will there will be a lot of fish. The water will be clear and it doesn't smell bad, pretty much. So energy is kind of flowing the same way, or this is the very nature of the universe. Whatever come, it has you have to be able to let it flow out. So if you have um, water coming in, if it doesn't flow out, like the example that I provided earlier, the water will become saltier and there's no living thing in that lake. So imagine, similar to water, in this case, let's say money, which is the main question that the farmer asked the master, right? Like, why am I not making more money than other people? I'm working very hard. So one explanation based on this law of the universe is that the farmer didn't give. He didn't his his flow got stuck at the lake, and he unable to unstuck it so that the energy flow, whether it is water or whether it is good health or whether it is money or relationship or even your inner self, even your inner peace. So once I learned this common law of the universe, I realized I was enlightened because of this very simple rule. When you give, you get, and it's create the perfect cycle. Therefore, the first lesson that the master taught the farmer is that you have to be able to give a gift of smile. It is absolutely free, but it will bring you many, many fortune. And I can very much relate it to this. Um, a lesson that another saying that I had learned from my Chinese friend that said that if you want to have a successful business, you have to learn how to smile. And I see this practice clearly in all of the movie. All right, I don't know if anybody here watch like martial art movie, but I'm a big fan. You know, all of the like back in the day where a traveler, which is the main character, just walk into a motel or a restaurant, and you can see that the host, the server, or even the owner, they will be like all happy, running out, all smiling and asking, you know, like what can I get for you? Welcome to the store. And in fact, you see that um, anywhere we go, whether it's the U.S. or Australia or Vietnam. Vietnam do an exceptional job at it because I was lucky enough to go to a few of the five-star resorts in Vietnam. The service there is excellent. They definitely make you feel like king. They smile at you and then they always try to make it the most convenient to you. So a gift of smile is the very foundation of the most important gifts in life. And while we are at it, let us go ahead and write down the all the six so we can discuss it further. And again, today is the first day, so I will focus on just one area, but I'm planning to running uh, this presentation every Wednesday evening, the US time, which is Thursday morning for Vietnam or Australia time. And we will do that toward the end of August. So let's go ahead and write out number two. This will be the gift of acknowledgement. And please allow me to just write the word acknowledgement here so that I don't have to write out the gift of all the time. Acknowledge. And write out the next one would be the gift of compliment. So for all of my friends that have learned this in Vietnamese, I know that this is not the exact translation, but this is the simplest way introduce the knowledge to our English speaking friends, and later on we can definitely spiraling down and go into a much deeper detail. So number four, it will be the gift of appreciation. Appreciation. And number five, be the gift of forgiveness. Six will be the gift of kindness. And last but not least, number seven, the gift of mastery. Okay, let's go over quickly of what these mean. So the gift of smile is pretty obvious. You smile at others, and people would be happy. I mean, would smile back at you. You will be able to live up their spirit. You know, a beautiful smile is the greatest thing. What about number two, the gift of acknowledgement? Have you ever walked into the room and you feel like nobody acknowledging you? I have this feeling a lot when I first moved to the U.S. because I didn't really speak the language, and I was one of the very few Asian people in my city, in my school, and often I can't really communicate with people, and they know that they can't really communicate with me. So most people they would choose to just ignore me. They didn't acknowledge my existence even. But all of the teacher in my school they pay a lot of attention to me. They was very curious because I came from a different country, so they would talk to me. They would give me assistance. One of the teacher, uh, Dr. Yizo, he uh, he is a very big, like tall guy. He played basketball, and I was a basketball player back then as well. So he always talked to me and take me to the gym and play balls, and it was great. Um, when someone acknowledges you, they uh, they uh, they give you something very special. They acknowledge your very existence, so that you can grow, so that you can reach your potential. And the same thing go for you. If you can acknowledge other, you might give them an opportunity that they need. Number three, compliment is pretty simple. Pretty much you compliment other. Number four, appreciation. Appreciate what you do for other, or what other do for you. Forgiveness, very literal. You learn to forgive other. You learn to forgive yourself. Kindness, you can always be kinder. Be kind to other. Give up mastery is the gift of providing other the mastery that they need. whether it in school or whether it in corporation career. Okay, so the reason that I'm going over very quickly the seven most important gifts in life, because today I'm not going in deep in detail of the seven most important gifts yet. I want to share with you a very important concept behind this. So, have you ever heard of the saying that treat other the way that you want to be treated? This is an ancient teaching from the East, and if you haven't heard that, it's fine. But just imagine, okay, would you would you like it when people smile at you? I know I would want it. So the teaching is simple. If you like to be receiving smile, you need to give smile, right? Do what do to other what you want to receive. What about acknowledgement? Would you like it when other people acknowledge you? Then it is simple. You you need to acknowledge them first. What about compliment? Do you like it when people compliment you? What if people tell you that you are beautiful today? Your hair is so pretty, or they would compliment on your shoe, the way you dress. What if they compliment on your smile? What if they tell you that you have a beautiful smile? Would you like it? I know I would love it, right? So if you want to receive, you gotta give to receive. Treat other the way that you want to be treated. What about appreciation? Would you love it when you cook a delicious meal for your family, for your loved one, for your daughter, for your son, or maybe even your parent? Would you want them to appreciate the time and effort that you put into to cook them that delicious food? Would you like to hear them say thank you? Because I know that in the past, when I was younger, I didn't understand this. I didn't thanks my mom. I didn't thanks my mother, even though she spent hours to cook. And even sometimes, like even now, sometimes I forgot because sometimes I forget about it. And I knew that she spent hours to prepare the food. So I think I would want other people to appreciate what I do for them. So how do we do that? Treat other the way that we want to be treated. We gotta learn to appreciate other people first. Say thanks to your mother, or say thanks to your daughter, even if you are the one that cooked for your daughter. But you know what? Thanks for anyway. Thanks her for providing you the opportunity to cook for her. Because for my case, I went study abroad when I was very young. So after I left home, my mother didn't have a chance to cook for me. I didn't have a chance to eat her food. So just because you're doing something nice for other, it doesn't mean that they didn't give you something special, right? When they acknowledge the gift, that is when we can give them the appreciation for providing us an opportunity to serve. And this is something that we will go much deeper when we get to the leadership character. What about forgiveness? Sometimes mistake happen, right? Sometimes accident happen. Would you like to receive forgiveness from others? I know I would. I'm not perfect. We are not perfect. So We're gonna make mistake here and there. Human ought to make mistake, and it's nice to receive forgiveness when that happens. And again, the golden rule is treat other the way that you want to be treated. So in order to receive, we gotta learn how to give. We gotta learn how to forgive people because they might not um, be lucky enough like us to have the opportunity to learn this amazing knowledge. The big one is kindness. There is a quote from the Dalai Lama, I think. He said that you can always be kinder. One of my friends told me this, and at first I didn't understand it. Like, I mean, I heard it makes sense, but then I didn't understand the deepness of it because you can just be kind, right? What is the point of being kinder? What do you mean being kinder? So what he's saying is when you're doing something kind to other, you have to have the mindset that you can always be kinder. Because the second that you make the decision that you are kind enough, that's when you started to lose the momentum. So kindness, it's good to be kind, but you can always be kinder. I know I would love to receive kindness from others. And if they can be kinder, I would appreciate it even more. And this is very, very special. Just this number six alone, this can literally change the world. This can literally save the world. Number seven, the gift of mastery. Let's use the example of a corporation setting. Let's say you start at an entry level job. Let's use a school, for example. You apply to a school and you got the job, you love that job. That's your dream job. But because you just start out, they can't just give you the best job. You need some experience. You gotta learn how to do your job well. So you got the job of uh, uh, teaching assistant job. So the gift of mastery is the gift that you can give your student. You can teach them the knowledge that you have, but even more beautifully, your your upper teacher, the one that you are assisting, they have the knowledge, they have the job, the career that you want, and they can give you that gift of mastery. They can show you how to be a better teacher, what kind of research that you can do. They can help you save time to reach the top faster and better. So the gift of mastery is something that most people are stuck at. And I've seen this in Vietnamese community very often in the past. I don't know about it now, but I think a lot of people have the mentality of, you know what? If I can cook the best pho, if I can make like the best like baguette, the best banh mi, I'm not gonna teach anybody because that is my recipe. That is how I make my money. And this is the mentality that I see a lot in older Asian generation. And this is the very exact question that I asked myself when I first moved over to the US. I see the success of American company where they have big franchise and they have like locations all over the world. But as far as Asian business go, let's say restaurant, for example, I don't see any successful. restaurant. I don't see any successful franchise. And I think the difference is that the mindset of the Vietnamese or the Asian culture is that I have to hold on to my mastery. I have to hold on to my secret because you know what? If I were to show my secret recipe to to my employee, then they might just open a store across the street and they will compete with me. And they are not wrong because this actually happen all the time. I worked many years in restaurant business as well, and I often see um, like students learn from the master, and they would open across the street, and both of them ended up not doing well. However, when we dive much deeper into the nature of the universe, as I shared earlier, it is like a float of water. If the water flowing in and it doesn't have any way to continue to circulate, the water will be bad. There will be nothing that can live in that water, just like the Salt Lake City, Salt Lake water in the Salt Lake. And this is a big lesson that many people have to pay a very, very expensive price in order to learn because of what I shared earlier when it's come to business, when it's come to older generation of Asian folks. They they hold on to their secret and they think that they can continuously making money, but eventually they will face some kind of challenge, some kind of suffering that they couldn't foresee. And they didn't understand that the water didn't flow and they got stuck. In fact, they're not willing to change. And because of that very reason, when it reached to a certain point, the whole thing is collapsed on itself. And this is not limited to the example of older Asian generation that I mentioned. Has anybody here still remember of Kodak? It is a big company that you film to take like photo. They are no longer around. They are no longer around because they stick to what they know. They try to monopolize their industry. They didn't want to change, which means that they are blocking the flow. Eventually, we have digital camera, and that digital camera literally kill the entire industry of photography. And this is very personal to me because one of my uncle he used to make a lot of money uh, making like picture for the entire community. So Kodak is one of the example. What about Blockbuster? Blockbuster is another big American company. They used to make a lot of money renting out video tape and DVD, Blu-ray and stuff. When it first came over to the US, there were a few stores that were still in operation. They got into the same problem. They got so big, and they just want to keep everything the same way. They just want to continue to make money, but they didn't realize that they are blocking the flow. They're not innovating, and eventually, the nature of the universe forced them to change. And if they when they did not change, they cease to exist. So when Blockbuster falls, Netflix came up, Amazon came up. Okay. And while we on the example of Amazon. Amazon did the same thing to Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Noble is one of the biggest bookstore in the 90s, but Amazon saw the opportunity to sell their book online, but Barnes and Noble were just laughing at them. Barnes and Noble didn't want to change. They didn't understand the nature of the universe. Their flow got stuck, and eventually it's becoming very, very deadly to them. Yes, Barnes and Noble is still around even today, but they lost a large share of market, and they wasn't as powerful as before. So what I wanted to share with you today is the law of the nature that we need to respect. And this is also the answer to the question of the farmer. When I first heard of the story of the farmer and the master, the seven most important gifts in life, I didn't understand it. In fact, I didn't understand how grand it is, how big, how important it is. What the farmer didn't know is that he didn't understand the flow of nature, where you have to give before you can get. The farmer didn't understand that there are more than just money. So his first mistake is that he didn't know that he had to give in order to get. And when he learned that question, when he learned that lesson, he didn't know that there are more things that he can give other than just money. He have a barrier that he doesn't have enough money to give other. But according to the lesson from the master, there are seven of the most important gifts in life. This is even more important than money itself. In fact, this is how you can attract wealth into your life. And remember the story of the successful Chinese owner that I mentioned earlier. Just a smile can welcome customer into the store. Just a smile can earn the customer trust, where they would invite their friends, their family. It's the word of mouth that can help the business grow. So just a smile alone can can go can take you a very, very long way. And with all seven of this, each uh the gift that we mentioned here is much deeper. And in the future, eventually we will go in deep in each of these seven most important gifts in life. So the lesson that I want to leave with you with today is that we have to understand the law of nature. There are many laws of nature, but in this presentation today, I want you to understand that I want you to understand about flow. Everything had to go with the flow. Everything had to circulate. We have to give in order to receive. And unfortunately for the farmer, he didn't know that he can give smile. He didn't know that he can give acknowledgement. He did not know that he can give compliment, appreciation, forgiveness, kindness, and mastery. And what happened when we do not know that we have so much to give? It will be just like the Salt Lake in Salt Lake City. Salt Lake becomes a dead lake. But lucky for us, we are still here. which means that we still have many opportunity to fix this. We can learn to give. We can learn to reactivate the flow so that our water can be cleaner, can be clearer, and we will have the opportunity to receive many gifts from others. So I know that we only have a couple of minutes left, but I do want to share the next point very quickly so that we you can keep this in mind the next time that we share. We most likely will return on the 23rd, which is a Wednesday US time. Um, so what I wanted to share with you before we go is the importance of people. So people are very important because without people, we wouldn't be able to have anyone to gift these the seven most important gift to. So without people, we wouldn't be able to continue the flow of nature. Our lake would be stuck and eventually it would die out. And this is not a joke, okay? I because I have learned this from many mentor and master mentor, literally people who are very successful in life, and they all say that human are resources. And if you don't believe me, believe history. If you look back, let's say 1,000 years ago, the most powerful country in the world 1,000 years ago are the country that have seaport. Okay. If you notice all of the big city in the world, they always build near a big body of water because if you have like a seaport and you have a big body of water, you can support people. Or let's use Vietnam for example. If you are staying in the south in Ho Chi Minh City, where they have like I think 10 million people, your business is more likely to success in Ho Chi Minh City rather than in my hometown, which is Da Nang, only have a little bit over 1 million people. Or if you live in Australia, Sydney and Melbourne will be two of the biggest city there, and business seem to be uh, better. People making more money. Even the United States, the great country, America, there's a huge difference if you live in, let's say, Colorado compared to New York City or Las Vegas. There will be a huge difference because wherever has more people, that place will be wealthier. 100 years ago, there is something very interesting, different happened, and I just learned this recently too. I didn't notice this before. 100 years ago, human invented air travel. So we have airplane, and it is easier for people to travel from one place to another. Trading is possible. So what interesting about the existence of airplane is that country like the United States of America, country like China, country like Russia, they rise to become the three most powerful country in the world. Prior to that, we would talk about England, French, Germany, the country in Europe. But as soon as airplane came into existence, the top three most powerful country are the country that have large land, they have a lot of resources, they have a lot of population. Okay? There is no question that the US, China, and Russia became the three most powerful country in the world. They simply have a lot of people. They simply have a lot of resources. So that is another the law of the universe. People are actually resources. And most of us didn't get to learn this. And most of us risk the opportunity of building relationship with others. So if you can truly understand the value of people, and if you can measure wealth by the amount of great relationship that you have, you can you can make a huge difference. You can be very, very wealthy, uh, whether it's financial or whether it is relationship. And this is something that I have learned recently as well. And this is the exact word of Bill Gates. Bill Gates said that as big as Microsoft, there are only about 20 people who making it as successful as it is today. There's only about 20 people that operate in it and make it that big. And when I read an article about the ultra wealthy, okay, like people who have like over like $30 million and over, the article says something very interesting. They said that when you get to that level, you no longer need more money. Well, not like you don't need money, but when you're receiving more money, it doesn't really make a difference. What make a difference is a favor or a connection. Because when other people owe you a favor, it can open up a lot of doors. Or when you know the right people, you can get like a lot of amazing opportunity. So people at the top, that is the game that they are playing. They are all about building connection, building relationship. Lucky for us, this is what the seven most important gift is about. Because once we understand this, we will be able to build relationship with others, and we will be able to build a very, very strong foundation to enrich our life. And that is the lesson that the farmer learned that day. He learned that there is more to life than just money. There are many, many gifts that he need to give others. He need to keep that flow. And that is the lesson that I would like to share with everyone today. All right. Thank you very much for joining us. And I know today is the first day. You might want to like share your ideas and ask questions and interact. I would love that. But because today is the first day, let's hold that question and an idea for the next time that we meet. And yeah, I will see you on the 23rd. Thanks joining me. Thanks for spending your precious time with me this evening. This is also an opportunity for me to share what I've known and build relationship. So I appreciate you very much, and I will see you next time. Love you all. Bye bye.